We would like to welcome everyone to the Friend Zone. Welcome once. You're welcome once. You're welcome twice. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Friend Zone, everybody. Your weekly go-to source for all things mental health and hygiene. Because
damn, I wanted a song. I'm going to interrupt you. No.
Wants a musty brain.
Because you didn't
I
say
said who?
No, you didn't drum roll either.
Wants a musty brain.
Who in the hell wants a musty brain? Friend Zone back and we doing it again.
Who?
Yeah, hit him with the freestyle so you can come like us, no bow. Yeah, no throw up. Yeah, no foul. We gonna get you together, get a towel. Wipe the dirt off, get it off your shoulders. Don't give a fuck, so we gonna do it more so. Hey friend, what you doing over there? You laughing at me? Yeah, you doing it again? Listen on the beat, and Asante on the mic. We doing this thing and we doing it right.
And that's
Welcome
original.
to the Friend Zone.
That's right.
Now that's how
For the
you do
umpteenth time,
That's
motherfucker.
right, that's
it.
right.
The 15th.
That's right.
That's why I said umpteenth, because you know sometimes,
remember?
or the umpteenth. I did remember because last time was 7 twice.
Oh, right.
I remembered it was 7 twice.
like,
They be playing me. They always play me.
That was
You don't
funny.
text back.
Right.
You don't.
I don't.
You don't.
I'm glad we saying this on the air, so everybody
Me too.
that knows this about me when they listen, they can be like,
Asante was
well, at
showing me
least
some
I'm not the
text,
only one.
and I was like, Asante, this person's been talking to themselves for weeks. It was like a monologue. He said nothing.
She said she was like,
And
It
then
was
he
like a
turns.
copy of their journal.
Then he
just
turns to
entries.
me. He was like, "Yeah, that is crazy." I'm like, "That's awful." It was like 20 texts in a row with one color,
It's horrible, man.
just gray.
look, I be busy. I'm sorry.
I ain't texting them shit.
Worst friend ever.
I ain't texting them shit.
Welcome to the Friend Zone.
Yes, now my friend got one in. I hope you all take shots when we say that every episode.
All right, welcome to the Friend Zone, everybody.
We are all really giddy, and I'm having a great day.
Yes.
I have been delivered through jury duty.
Yes.
I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say that much, so I'm only going to say that much. I've made it through.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Okay. Case is closed. You can put your gavel down, leave it alone. It's out.
Yeah, we all know the torture of that.
Man.
Dismissed, like that show that used to come on MTV.
Wait,
Remember
what-
Dismissed?
I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Which one was that? What was it about? What was the premise
You know,
of it?
dating and they got sent home at certain stages, like people off the date. It was good.
I'm sure I've seen it. Oh, and then in court, one of the lawyers was trying to make an analogy of what's the show where they get
A Moth to
married
a
and they don't
Flame.
know each other?
Oh, I know exactly. It comes on A&E, I believe.
Yes.
I know exactly
So
what
the
you're
lawyer
talking
was
about.
trying to make an analogy.
What in the hell is the name of that
us.
show?
I've never seen it.
Oh, so there's
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Yes.
What?
Two complete strangers get married, and then they just have to trust that it's going to work or something.
What kind of
Wow.
So,
anyway.
so the lawyer was talking about some damn like Married at First Sight. We need your unbridled, and the judge interrupts him. He's like, "This court is not like Married at First Sight. I can guarantee you." And I'm like, "Damn, he is just ethering him." Like, granted, that
the
was
judge
stupid.
Was like, cut it out.
Man, this shit was crazy. But I'm just glad I ain't got to do it no more for 4 to 6 years.
Yeah, you know,
Don't put my name back out that
I feel
box.
guilty for all the cases I dodged, because then you see all the things happening now, and we always complain about the jury, but then we're the ones dodging the cases. We should be ashamed of ourselves. I did my duty though last
That's
year,
right.
so I'm good for like
Oh,
another.
I'm not doing
4
it. I don't
years.
believe them. I don't believe that they care about what I have to say and my opinions. And it was showing every time I was trying to talk. And that man told me he runs the show. I was like, see, white man throwing around his power. This is exactly what I'm talking
You
about.
should have been like, is that why you look so tired?
I'm not going to contempt of court now. There's only so much I can say.
So
what y'all
let's get
going
into
through?
this topic for today.
What the topic be?
So I came in and I was telling the guys that my mom came over yesterday and basically said to me that she was moving back to the Dominican Republic. She didn't have like a set date or anything, but I think it was just her way of testing the waters and letting me know that this was the next chapter of her life. Now, mind you, it's just me and her, you know, single parent household. Well, at least I should say I grew up in a single parent household. And so when she said it, it was that like sudden death feeling, you know, like I wanted to cry and it felt so scary. But then I had to catch myself because it was like my mom is her own person You know, and we talked
Yes.
about this in the parent episode. I think it's Family Matters.
Yeah.
You know, we forget to humanize our parents, and they have their own goals and their own things that they want to accomplish. And a lot of times they sacrifice it for to make sure that we're comfortable, to make sure that our lives are better than theirs, you know? So I was actually happy that she felt ballsy enough to just, because I know it was hard for her too to say that. You know, I'm sure she thought it over and over and over for probably years. And for her to say it to me, I could kind of see the tension like in her face. And so I made sure not to cry because I want her to know that this is like a great decision. And I love that she's just kind of taking her, you know, her life by the horns and going with it. And for once putting herself first. But I was mortified, and when she left, I cried.
Oh, friend.
I really did, because it was just that feeling of like, oh my God, like I cannot imagine not being able to just jump on the train. You know, you go to your mom's house,
Have direct
Yeah.
access
that
to your
smell
mom.
that your mom has, you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's that home smell, and then there's always food, and she
Yeah.
knows what you like to eat, and then the conversation and that safety. And knowing that no matter what's happening in the world, that's like the one person in
Yeah.
my world that I know has my back unconditionally. No matter if I'm fucking up, if I'm doing amazing, she's always just keeps me centered. So to think that that's that feeling, yeah, no, don't make me cry. that is, you know, that she's leaving to another country is just like, it's mortifying. And I thought of you guys, because you guys don't live in the same states as your parents anymore. So I thought this was a good conversation to have. Just there's so many layers and dynamics to it. Just the, you know, the first one being when you are that single parent kid, have you made any sacrifices in fear of leaving your parents alone? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of
Yeah.
people have done that because you worry so much about them. Also the sacrifices the parents have made, and like I said earlier, not maybe following their paths and dreams and goals because they're so concerned about ours, you know. And I'm curious to hear your stories of how you guys pulled it off. Like, how did you guys decide that day, like, I'm moving to another state that my parents are not in?
Friend, before we get started, I mean, you're already such a bad bitch. Next year, you'll just be able to hop on the PJ whenever you want to see your mom.
Right.
So
PJ.
it
That's
ain't
what
with her
she
name on
said.
it ain't gonna be nothing.
That's what my mom said. She was like, hopefully our lives will change and you can just come and go as you
Yeah.
please, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly,
What if you win Publishers Clearinghouse?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine
Yo,
them
I'm
coming up
never
with that
gonna
big
do
check?
nothing ever again in my life if I ever win that. Like, I'm gonna just be gone. Y'all gonna be like, what is he even doing? Like, just spending money and traveling
Just
And,
in
and have a
Dubai.
reality show showing me doing that shit.
and make money back off the reality show.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, you know what resonates with me a lot is when I left Atlanta, I still think about when I was in the airport with my mom. And
oh my God.
I
Please
think about,
tell
like,
us
how
that so I can feel
I remember being so sad, and I remember thinking, like, am I making a mistake? Because I wasn't even scared of coming to New York. I was scared of leaving my mom.
Right.
Like, I wasn't even terrified at the thought of going to this completely new city where I, didn't really know anybody and having to just start from scratch. The only thing I could think of is, like, I'm being so selfish right now by just up and leaving my mother who, sacrificed so much.
Everything.
Like, I can't just stay here in this city. But at the same time, I also felt like I had to be in a place where I could grow on my own and grow my own legs and know, what I wanted to do. Like you said, out of a single parent home for my mom and her being the only person I really know, it was so hard. But then, because, you worry, you think she's by herself. Me and my sister both moved out. So what is she going to do when I move to a different city? Like, she
Right.
can't bother me on the weekends. We're not grocery shopping. And eventually, like, she started doing okay. Like, she started hanging out more with her friends at work. Randomly, my dad comes back in the picture. They get married. So it was just like, wow, like the universe really moved. And not to say it took me leaving for her to get her blessings, because,
well, yeah,
I'm
but
my mama's son. But
no, but in a way, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes they depend so much on our growth that they put their growth aside.
Absolutely. And so, like, it kind of, me and my mom look at each other now, like, she sees that I've been in New York doing so good. It's kind of like, I'm glad that I didn't hold you back. Well, not to say that she even would have held me back, because my mom's the type of person, she just, I don't know. I still remember, like, arguing as a child, like a very, very small child, just lying about bullshit and stuff like that. But, like, my mom has always supported me. Like, there's just never been that one person in my corner the way my mom has been. And, like,
Right.
that's how it should be. So to the thought of leaving that person was just tearing me up. I was like, I'm my mama's boy, but then I'm turning my back. But it was like, it's New York. And eventually I got so distracted by that. It's hard for me to get on the phone and be on the phone with my mom and dad. So now I feel like a bad son because I don't talk to them often enough, but at least they're doing great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So your mom leaving doesn't mean that she's leaving you. It just means that it's going to be a new chapter for some new things for the both of y'all.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm like fighting back tears right now. I'm excited for her. Yeah, so there's a part of me that is happy for her, like I said, because I know that she's getting older. New York is already hard as it is. You know, it's hard for me to navigate sometimes. So I can only imagine her having been here since she was 17. It's time to, to experience, to basically be able to sit back. You know, I'm working hard now. I'm trying to be the workhorse so that she doesn't have to be.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to, I'm not there yet, but you know, by the grace of God, I'm pushing, and I want to be able to give her the life that she more than deserves.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I picture her in like a little house in DR, hopefully like beaches nearby. Right, yeah, of course. You know, and I want her to just kick back, and that is the only thing that brings me peace, you know, knowing that she deserves it and knowing that it's coming and that I will be able to provide that life for her.
Yes.
But, you know, me being the child, it's still bittersweet because it's just that feeling like I can't even imagine when it happens and, you know, going to the airport, like I'm probably going to be a wreck.
Yeah.
You know, I already know it. And
we'll
the both
come
of
with
us.
you.
Right. The friend
Yes.
zone.
Oh, we
We'll
should have
come
like
with
a
you.
whole big like seafood send off. We can call it the seafood send off.
The seafood send off, you know, so I know that that's going to be a really interesting chapter of life for me. And I had told Asante, which is why this is like mind blowing. I had told him a couple weeks ago how like all of my friends have left, you know, like literally my 3 closest friends all relocated to LA. And then I literally said word for word, all I need to hear is my mom tell me she's leaving, and that's it. It's going to be such a wrap for me. And then now it happens. So I'm like, oh my God.
I'm telling you.
But, you know, like Asante was like, well, maybe God's preparing you for something really big by like having you be so alone, you know.
I'm telling you, he's making room for
insulated.
something for you, friend. Like
Right.
you just have to know that. Like there is no way that he's just gonna leave you out there by yourself unless he's giving you the room to grow. Like
Right.
like absolutely 100,000%.
Yeah. So I'm trying to maintain that perspective because I think it's a perspective that we all know. You know, like you know in your heart when you're going through your trials and tribulations or things are seem like they're harder to deal with, you also know that is some, like we said the other day, it's a promotion. That means it's something that God is trying to break through to you so deeply just because he knows that you need to have a certain level of strength to even handle the next move, you know? So because it's such a heavy hit, I'm just like, okay, I'm ready. It must be something powerful, you know, and I'm happy for my mom. But Dustin, I'm curious to hear, like, the day you decided, like, I am leaving, I'm going to New York, how did that feel? And even the day you actually left, like leaving your parents, what did that feel like?
I love my parents to death, right? Like, love them. But at that time, they were getting on my nerves. and so it made it a little bit easier to hit the gas, you know what I mean? But no, I just, you know, friend, I've decided to kind of live life on my own terms. And so that sense of separation started earlier for me because it was more of an emotional separation, right?
Right.
There was a sort of dependency that I had to wean myself of in order to be able to stand on my own feet, you know, in truth. And so it gave me a certain strength and a certain type of like resiliency, I guess, when it comes to my parents. And I've learned to create an emotional space that's healthy with them for myself. So I don't have unrealistic expectations of them. You know what I mean?
It's powerful.
And I'm very appreciative of what I do get from them. So my circumstances were a little bit different. You know, it wasn't like I was really losing And plus, at the time when I moved here, I was already living about 70 miles away from my parents anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so
distance was
already a factor,
right.
much more manageable than it is now, but it was still a factor. But I have to say though, I did feel as if I was abandoning something, right? I felt like this was all I really knew. This is where I had lived. You know, I had lived elsewhere, but in that general region was where I had spent the majority of my life.
Yeah.
And so leaving that and leaving those systems and social systems and cultures and behavioral patterns, leaving all that behind and starting fresh, I felt really naked. And I had to find a way to make myself feel covered and comfortable again. And I knew that I had to. I guess the fact that I knew there was an obligation there for me to make it motivated me to do just that.
Right.
And so when you go through this transition, friend, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in the forefront of your thoughts, right? Your mother, she was heavily involved in your development and in your success. You've spoken previously of how important it was to her that you have a college education, you know,
right.
and you even fulfilled that. Just and partially to satisfy your mom. You knew that was a source of pride for her, you know, being here, first generation, all those things. And so for your mom to now say, you know what, it's okay for me to leave. I feel comfortable enough to leave. That's her paying you the highest compliment that a parent could pay their child. She's proud of you. She's proud of you.
Tearing.
She is. She's proud of you, friend. And she feels satisfied and proud of herself for the work that she did in making you the beautiful person that you are. And so when you look at it like that, it'll make you feel happier than when you focus on the detachment, when you focus on the loss of immediate access, you know, all those things that give you anxiety about your mom going that far away.
Right.
Yeah.
But you also have to think about what place your mom must be at in life to want that freedom, to free herself of the burden of forced residency. You know
right.
what I mean? Like, damn it, she don't have to be here anymore. Her work here is done. Mm-hmm. She feels like you can self-sustain.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean financially. You know what I mean? She's confident in your decision making. She doesn't feel like she has to be immediately hands-on with you anymore.
Right.
And that means, friend, that you have satisfied every desire she had for you. You're independent. You're an independent thinker. You know what I mean? You've decided to live life on your own terms, and she respects you for that. So take pride in all of that. Take pride in your mom leaving, and also take control in every element of her move. Since she wanted to tell you beforehand, then now she got to deal with what you have to say about it. So you pick the neighborhood, you pick the house, you know, you pick where her little grocery store and shit she gonna be around, you know, all the things that she'll need, you know, so you can kind of know her routine and stuff so that you feel more confident in her being away.
Right.
You feel content and you feel like she's safe.
Right.
So get as nosy as you can. And when you get ready to buy her that house that you want to buy her, make sure you get her really modern furniture so she feels young when she's at home. Modern furniture makes older people feel youthful.
That's cute. No, yeah, I think that's actually really powerful advice. You know, I was telling the guys earlier, you know, most parents measure your level of success or the fact that you are stable or whatever by you being married and having kids. Like usually that's, you know, the American way or whatever. Not even American, that's just worldwide. But my mom knows I've never been interested in marriage and kids has never really been a thing for me. I've always said if I have a kid, you know, I want to base that on inspiration, not a clock or a schedule. If it happens, it happens. If not, that's cool too.
Right.
You know, everything I do in my life has to be a feeling for me, you know, so I haven't had that yet and that's okay. So she doesn't have those measures, you know, so in a way, like you said, it is the highest compliment because even without those quote unquote measures, she knows that I'm okay.
She's satisfied.
Yeah, she knows that like I've worked hard to get to where I am. And I don't even mean that in the financial sense, but just in the emotional sense of being able to rationalize what my entire life has been. And now she sees how I deal with problems and she can tell that, you know, my mind has really developed in a way that I guess she feels safe distancing herself from in a healthy way. I should say.
She wouldn't even consider leaving if she thought that she couldn't leave you by yourself,
Yeah.
And like I think more than anything, like that's why we sometimes do hold ourselves back, because we don't give people enough credit. But in this situation, she's giving you more than enough credit. So you have to remember to give her credit. Like I said, how she came here when she was young.
Yeah,
so.
And I actually think that's pretty powerful, because she's way more powerful than I am in that sense, because I know, and I'm sure a lot of people listening can, this will resonate with you, especially if you are a single child with a single parent. A lot of the times you'll sacrifice your own decisions for the sake of your parents. Like I've been wanting to move to LA for the longest.
Yeah.
Not just because all my friends are there, but I've always just had a thing for LA. It's so laid back, and I love the fact that you have the city feel, but then you have beaches and mountains. Yeah,
take us with you if you go.
So it's like a perfect mixture of the city and Zen life that I think just kind of resonates well with my personality. Every time I've always been like, oh God, I need to leave New York. But a lot of what has held me back is also because I'm just so New York. I just love it here, But also I just never wanted to leave her alone. And I could never come to terms with the idea of telling her, like, Mom, I am relocating 3,000 miles away from home, and just never could do it. And even when I went away to college, I remember it was a big deal. That, I was so scared. I was like, how am I going to tell her that I'm leaving her, And because at that time I was still living at home. So that was difficult for the both of us. And, but I did it. When I moved to Brazil for a year, that was difficult, but I did it. And it was all me taking these baby steps to prepare. Like Dustin said, you have to be comfortable with the detachment, like our parents were not born just for us. They have their own paths.
Absolutely.
And I think we forget that. We almost think that their job in this world is to provide our comfort. And we forget that they need to fulfill different feelings for themselves as well, So I'm really excited for her. I'm excited for this next chapter, what it means. I don't know. She can do so many wonderful things. And, one thing she said is that she has gained a lot of confidence, even just from seeing my work and my passion. And, she realized that that's been missing in her life. And she's happy I found it so young, and now it's her time to find it. So
good.
I'm excited, but it's just that fear too. It's just like, oh my God, I'll be here by myself. And I hope that she's okay over there by herself. But it is really inspiring. I hope if you're a parent that's listening, to remember yourself, remember your life and your dreams, and have these conversations with your kids. They might be uncomfortable about you pursuing certain things or maybe leaving in the future, but the way that it felt like a rug pulled from under me was because my mom and I never really had those kinds of detachment conversations, at least not when it came to her. So, but I'm excited. You can hear the crying in my voice that I'm holding it back, but like I am really excited for her, and she's stronger than I am, because I couldn't even move to LA and she's about to leave the country.
I'm excited for her, but I'm also excited for you, because next year when you get that PJ and you board it so we can go visit your mom, I can't wait to go see your mom. So we're going to hop on the PJ to go visit your mom as much as we can.
We have a new island destination to visit for no reason.
That's right. For every reason.
Yeah, but for those of you listening, like, it's so many chapters will keep changing. Like a lot of you guys hit us about feeling lost and the confusion, because I know you probably think we have a lot of our shit together, but things like this are important because it just shows you, doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter what chapter in life there are always going to be changes that you are not going to be prepared for. And it's just a matter of staying centered, amidst the changes, no matter how hard the hits are. Because I'm 33, I didn't expect this. Right. Like my life just started getting calm, and now it's like, whoop.
I don't think you can take control of anything other than your perspective. And that's why I love the work that we do on this show.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's really our mission, right?
Yep.
Like, I don't think that you can ever have your shit together as far as the factors in your life. All you can have together is yourself.
Absolutely.
My shit ain't never been together. My shit has irreconcilable differences. My shit ain't never been together and ain't gonna get back together. But I just feel like I can control my outlook
on
shit. And that helps me manage like emotional stress and things like that. So
Right.
it's just relevant when it comes to certain things, like the feelings that you have right now.
Right.
We have to figure out a way to turn that into something hopeful
Right.
that can make you, it'll drive you to be positive about it. So,
Yeah, and it's all perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you said, it's a mind game. There's technically nothing wrong with what's happening, but I just have this reaction because it's a change.
Right.
And change is hard to deal with. And I'm a Taurus. Those of you who know Tauruses, I'm a bull. I don't move. So change for me is like a freak out.
And as far as perspective goes, like it's so interesting to see because it almost reminds you, like I feel like we've talked about how, you play your own role, but all these people play roles in your lives. It reminds you, that the players and the influence that everybody has always changes. Like, your parents are kind of always there. The love is always there. And there's these little things that you might take for granted, like going over there once a week and stealing groceries out there and stuff like that.
Right.
So the moment like that thing goes missing, it's like,
true.
well, this is supposed to be like a regular part of my life that I don't have to worry about. So now I have to deal with like, making it separate and how that's going to change. But then, you always have to remember in the future, so many things might have changed like from a year ago,
Yep.
So your whole like relationship with your mom, y'all may not speak as much, but you may both be happier.
Yeah,
just
who
in what
knows?
you're doing.
You may even speak more because sometimes you take your parents for granted.
She might, she might go over there, blossom, and like give you a whole nother life. You're like, wow, my mom is like glowing, and then like recharge
Visit her.
me.
She gonna have a bob. She gonna be there and cut her hair in a bob and dye it like burgundy or something. You know what I'm saying? Be wearing white sundresses with a tan. Like she gonna be a little, woman. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this before. Like looking at your parents as people, right?
Right.
Like she's gonna be a single woman, at that stage in life with different youthful elements.
Back
still
to the
jazzy.
island life.
Yeah,
yeah. That's true.
It's gonna be good for her.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is. And
It's gonna be
it's
so
all
awesome.
perspective. I have to just the thing about, being a positive person, it's not that you have to try to be this naive person that's just like happy all the time. But
Right.
it's just a matter of, like you said, when we get hit with things, it's just trying to think of the highest good that's
Right.
coming out of it. And if you can
Absolutely.
always find the highest good and always find the love and always find the best in things, suddenly your life will literally morph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your
Absolutely.
life will morph into feeling way different because it really is all perspective.
Like even those tiny little day-to-day things. Remember I was telling you I lost my debit card, but then I thought to myself, the bank is still open. I can
That's
get a new
right.
one printed.
and that's that.
And
Like-
it's their job to fucking do it.
That's right. Like
Instead
I
of
could
like losing your whole
like, oh my God, I gotta change every account. I hope they don't
Yeah.
spend no money. Like
It
I just
don't
went
matter.
right there, had it all taken care of.
Done.
Just that easy. Made
Right.
made me feel excited. I was like, I
Hey,
I
guess
dodged
what?
a bullet.
Anybody that needs that new number, trust me, they gonna come at you to
Oh,
get there. Okay.
okay.
So don't ever feel pressure to let a hoe know you can change your banking information. They gonna reach out to you for it. Okay.
Okay. Hey, this ain't working for me. Like it shouldn't be.
And speaking of finding, do they sell that Hennessy Pure White in the DR?
probably.
So there we go.
see? Boom.
Another benefit,
He said
another pro, right? we can have access to Hennessy White, that Pure White. Have you had that Hennessy White?
no.
Those of you listeners who partake in the communion
In
wine,
extracurricular
yeah,
activities.
Communion wine.
in the wine, then you know about Hennessy White. That
Water
Pure White
into
Hennessy is fantastic.
White.
My mom's at home like,
Hey,
She
friend,
gonna
mom,
have
hey.
some waiting for you.
And,
Hey, friends, mom. Hey.
And for those of you that still have your parents near and dear,
hold on to
hold
them.
on to them. Maybe this will inspire you to because I know we all go through it. It's not even an intentional thing half the time. It's just that we're also caught up in the hustle and bustle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it's so easy to lose track of the last time you spoke to your friends, your parents, like people that are really meaningful and valuable. So call your mom. This is like a pre-wellness tip.
Yes,
Come
Call
on.
your mom, tell her you love her, your dad, your grandma, go visit them. Like
your booster.
it's so right? It's so easy. Your booster. It's so
Please
easy
tell
to
them
take.
you love them, man. It's the holidays.
Okay.
Everybody needs
Right.
somebody stealing around the
Black
holidays
Friday?
now.
Come on now.
Yeah, and it's the holidays this week, and I know you guys are all excited. So, just show more love. It's so
Yes.
easy to take these people for granted when they're not there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully this will inspire you guys.
I love you, mama and dad.
Right. Love you, Mom. And
Right,
I
I
hope
love
you
you,
guys
Mom
have
and
an
Dad.
awesome Thanksgiving dinner. I hope you guys eat lots of. No, people aren't gonna bring patty pies to their grandma's houses.
No,
probably.
hell
Your
no.
grandma
So they can
kick
unless
you
they
out.
want to get put out, and not if they want to come in.
Okay. Unless they want to die.
Like, you talking about a death stare? An older black woman who feel like her kitchen has been disrespected.
Yo, how many grandmas are just waiting to put y'all out with these pies? They probably sent out
everybody
emails.
loves a patty pie, but nobody's stupid.
Ain't even no cumin in it. Listen, ain't no nutmeg. Let's taste that. Where's the nutmeg? Where is the nutmeg? You taste that? That's right.
Oh my God.
Get that bullshit out of here.
Get her out of here.
But shout out to Patti LaBelle. Okay.
Bye, Patty.
Okay.
Bye, Patty.
Patti LaBelle sold the shit out of them pies this weekend, didn't she?
She
did. She tore a hole through Walmart's ass.
Oh my God. Well, at least James did, or whatever that guy's name
I hope
is.
she gave him some money.
Right?
Okay.
Well, let's change the pace a little bit. I actually have a really awesome beauty tip for you guys today. A lot of people have been hitting me saying, okay, Fran, you blessed us with the skincare, but what about my scalp? You know, it's cold out. My scalp is dry.
That shit is dry.
Flick me in the eye again.
And I'm in the eye again.
Can you imagine dandruff flying on you?
No.
Off of someone? You talking about an ass
No.
whoopeth that would come forth.
And look, I already.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fran. Tell them how to look better with a better scalp. Tell them how to glow their scalp up.
No, because look,
You
just
know what
real
I'm
quick, because
saying?
you know when white girls be flicking their hair, they don't be looking. So I've had to like tell a girl to excuse me, like, oh, I'm sorry.
You should
like, yeah.
be. Pull that shit in a ponytail
That's
like
nasty.
everybody else.
I can't talk because my hair is so big.
No,
when
your
I
hair is
sit
beautiful,
when
so
I
it
sit
don't
on the
count.
train,
Your hair don't
I have to
count.
like take it
but
in.
they see that coming when you just sitting
That's
right
true.
next to someone and you just start flipping your shit and you know
Right.
someone is right next
And
to
you
you.
got them split ass ends, so it stick you on your hand when it hits you, especially on the train where the seats are back to back. Like on them trains, you always feel that flick. I hate that flick of the hair.
Y'all was so funny. Well,
That
I
nasty
have
shit off of me.
I have a really, really, and I
Nasty shit.
promise you guys are gonna love me for this recipe. It's one of my most popular YouTube videos.
Keys
One
to
of
the
my most
kingdom, huh?
one of my I'd say of all the recipes I've put out, this one has probably gotten the best response and most consistent results, regardless of your hair type, length, density, all the things. So this is why I wanted to share it with you guys today. So of course it's do it yourself, and you guys know I'm about to give you some kitchen beautician ingredients.
All right, kitchen titian.
So you're gonna go ahead and grab half a cup of olive oil. This is what is going to seal in the moisture, and it's gonna fight the frizz especially for you naturals and curly girls that are trying to get those. I like the soundtrack that have the little coils, and you want them to be more defined. You're definitely gonna use that olive oil. 2 tablespoons of raw honey. That's gonna be our natural shine serum. So that is amazing. Like when people see my hair, they usually see how shiny it is, and I can really, really attribute that to the honey that I use in my DIY concoctions. Then for the protein boost to strengthen your hair, you're gonna use half a cup of coconut milk. I know, isn't this nice? It's actually when you make
sounds
it
edible.
Yeah, when people
Is this like
make
a
it.
sauce that I could put on my salad afterwards?
I'm
or
over here
something?
taking notes like I got hair and shit. Let me put my damn phone down. Let me put my damn phone down.
And then you're going to use half of an avocado. This is the healthy fat. So the healthy fat, what it's going to do is going to moisturize your hair. And this combination of the avocado and the olive oil is perfect because like I said, the fat in the avocado will give you the moisture, and then the olive oil seals that moisture in. It kind of locks it in. Think of a door, and the olive oil just bloop, closes it. So now you have moisture, you have shine from the raw honey, and then the last thing we're going to add is half of a banana. And a banana, what it does is that it's an emollient, which is what gives your hair that soft feel to the touch. You know when you put a deep conditioner and you're washing it out and your hair feels like butter?
Yeah.
This is what the banana is going to do. So I'll just go by that again. Half a cup of olive oil. That's to seal in the moisture. 2 tablespoons of raw honey. That's for the natural shine. Half a cup of coconut milk for your protein boost to fortify your hair. Half an avocado as the healthy fat and moisturizer, and half of a banana as the emollient that softens your hair. So that is it for the DIY Hey Fran Hey deep conditioner that I know you guys are going to love. I can't wait to see your pictures of it. When you mix it up, it's literally going to look like a lime green deep conditioner, and you guys are probably gonna want to eat it.
That's cute though.
It's so cute,
saucy.
and it works really well. Obviously, you can. One of my favorite parts of this DC is that you can customize it. So if you feel you need more shine, you can add more honey.
Get your shine on.
Right. If you feel that your hair needs more of a protein boost because maybe it's been shedding or breaking off or it just doesn't look as full like usual, then add more of the coconut milk. So based on your particular ailment, listen back to everything I listed and why you're using it, and then kind of toggle with it basically, and just add more based on what your particular hair and scalp ailments are.
On some custom type shit.
Right, and that's the beauty of it. You know, you can really
VIP hair and shit.
you can
Hollywood.
really mess around with it and make it be whatever you need it to be. So that's like my favorite deep conditioning recipe. Like I said, you can go back on my YouTube channel, you read through the comments. It's like 400 comments. The video has like over 100,000 views, and that should be a testament to the fact that people really like the recipe, and it doesn't matter your hair type or length. So can't wait to hear what you guys think, and that is my wellness tip for this week.
Hey, let me tell you something too, Fran. There's some people that need that. Okay.
Well, what?
That was a great tip. Like
I'm
you could not
glad.
have
It
picked
was.
something that's
It
so
was.
applicable.
And the best part is, I'm pretty sure every single thing I mentioned is in your kitchen as we speak.
Yep.
So you probably don't have to buy any
to
of
my
it.
next question. So, like, what? Like, when you're done applying this, and you're like, you put your plastic bag on. What do you make a sandwich with the leftovers, or like? Like, do I have to put it on Ezekiel bread for like best results?
I mean, if you can, it's all natural ingredients. If you like how it tastes. Oh, and actually, because I know most people probably
it sounds
need
like an after protein shake too, or something.
It
Like
does
after
sound
workout,
it
right?
does
Like
sound
banana,
like a smoothie.
coconut, right?
Yeah, it's I actually call it a smoothie. It's like a hair smoothie because it looks like one when you make it. But throw all of those ingredients in the blender. That's one part I forgot to mention, and just blend it up. For as long as it takes till you see that it's smooth and not lumpy anymore. And then just apply it to your hair the same way you would any other deep conditioning treatment. And I usually leave it in for 25 to 30 minutes and then wash it out. So I promise you guys, you're going to love it so much. I'm actually really excited that I remembered to give you guys a recipe because it's literally life-changing. And I would never say that to gas myself, but I just am proud when mixtures really work and people hit me back like, girl, my scalp, is so healthy. Thank you. My hair looks great. So,
That's good.
yeah,
That's
so I
so
hope you guys
wonderful.
love it and definitely give me feedback and let me know what you think.
So
And
if
now,
it's just for your scalp, I can use it then.
you technically can. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that picture.
I have I'm a blank canvas.
You can use it on your beard
Won't
too.
you mold me?
Are we about to?
Mold the clay.
would-
I won't you mold me?
Is this the gospel moment?
No, not yet.
Won't
Not
you
yet.
hold? That's
You'll know
more-
when you see
that's
it.
That's
more-
true
that's
because his
more-
face
Look,
lights up.
look, you'll know when you see
That's more
it.
79, 80, 81 R&B, Now won't you mold me?
Give it to him one more time. Give it to him one more time with the
Now
slow
won't you
version.
hold
Like when
me?
Tina Turner, she did the slow version. She just kept saying it over and over. You should just give us
That's
that
because
version.
she got stuck.
Won't
She
ya?
couldn't remember what
Won't
was
ya?
next.
Right.
She had forgot the motherfucking words. That's where they came
Like,
from.
no, it's
Won't ya?
Let me hit it with it one more
Won't ya?
time.
Won't ya?
Y'all are so
Then I had to bring it back.
funny. Do you have an icebreaker for us today?
I do. I have one here, but I have one I want to ask possibly.
Ooh,
Ooh.
a personal friend zone
Kind of, yeah.
icebreaker.
Name 3 places that you've been. Name 3 of your favorite places you've been, and one of them you might live in. Like one of you might live at, because you were talking
like
about LA
this.
and the
Yeah.
West Coast and stuff like that. So name 3 places that you've been, and just one place.
And one place you'd actually stay.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. You go first.
Okay. I've been to Chicago. I've been to New Orleans. And is DC too easy?
No, it's not
That's
New
the
York.
fucking nation's capital.
I mean, like, yeah, but like for me, you know what I'm saying? Because I go there so much.
No.
Honestly, I would live, like, I could live anywhere, like, for sure. But I would live in
Really?
any.
So you'd live in New Orleans and go hang out with Solange?
That was
Absolutely.
my city that I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Get out.
Like,
Wait, so tell us yours.
people that know me know that I love like New Orleans, like I love.
We
New
are gonna
Orleans.
relocate down there.
You won't move?
I love everything about it. Yes, I would live right in the quarter too. I love the spirit,
cool
the music, the energy, like
the food.
It's the food, just
drinking
the
any
culture.
and everywhere.
It's an amazing
no,
place.
true in the culture. I love
New
Yeah,
Orleans.
and everybody down there is so awesome.
Yes, and they all sound like Toya, baby.
Baby.
They do.
Do you know that the New Orleans accent, I can truly say, is hands down my favorite
Oh my
accent
gosh.
of all the entire world. I don't
Yes.
care where you're from. When someone speaks to me with a NOLA accent, I melt. It's so cool
it don't
to
even
me.
take a
It
double
is.
take. Like that one take is like,
I just love it.
that
They
right
don't
there.
even take the K and the E, just the T.
Did you ever watch Messy Maya?
I did.
I used to.
Yeah.
I loved him. His
Yes.
accent was so funny. Shout out,
was
rest in peace
hilarious.
to Messy Maya.
Man, that's crazy.
Right. So wait,
That's
what are
still crazy.
yours?
I don't know. Shit. No, I'm just playing. I love New Orleans. I love Las Vegas. What else? We're just doing like U.S., right?
You can do anywhere.
Anywhere,
I haven't been abroad, so you can anywhere.
And I also love like, and this is so ghetto and tourist and just black, but whatever. Cancun. Like, I'm serious.
I believe you.
Cancun is fun as hell. Like anybody that's listening, if you have an opportunity to take one of those types
That's
of
so
vacations,
spring break.
go to Cancun, Mexico. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
and then there's like
Mexico's
this
the
whole,
shit.
there is this whole like posh, like just really like ultra like like it's just there's a really nice side of Mexico.
Yeah.
And when people in Mexico have taste and class, they have it. Okay. And like they do. And it's the opulence. Yeah.
I'm at
I can't even lead that shit.
The opulence, I swear to you. So yeah, that's it. And New Orleans is just heart and soul. Like I like
Oh my God.
bounce music.
I love
Every year,
Man.
me and my friends go to the football game when the Saints play the 49ers, and there's nowhere tailgating at a Saints
49ers.
game. Like there's nothing like it. I love New Orleans.
See, I love New Orleans too. I think 3 places I've been. I love traveling abroad. That's more my
And
thing.
you look so good doing it.
Oh, thanks.
Somebody should pay you just to travel, friend.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And if they come along, I want to go with you.
I'm trying to be
Okay,
like
plus
Anthony
one.
Bourdain. If anybody watches Anthony
Yes.
Bourdain, his travel show, like that's my dream, is to be him, the health version of him.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone listening works for a
Okay.
TV
If
network.
you're listening,
But I lived in Brazil, so obviously
Yeah.
like that was life altering. Brazil is incredible. Everyone has to go to Brazil at some point in their life. I don't know if I'd live there, but it was amazing. I'm trying to think. I liked London a lot. London has a cool
I still wanna
vibe.
go.
Yeah, it has a cool vibe. It's very emo to me. At least that's
Oh,
what I
yeah?
think.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
which
like
is
that though.
yeah, it's very vibey.
Make my
and emo.
emotions bleed. Meeting hot ass strangers and like having, you be in love for the night, like the Rihanna, like the We Found Love video, but like
Dustin
for
done
one
turned
night
this
though.
into
Do you
a
see him?
music
He looks
video.
like Death Becomes Her, though. Like, that's what he looked like. Bitch, you look like Luther Vandross.
Beyonce. No, bitch, you look like Luther Vandross. Sorry, go ahead, friend.
But in the States, I think I'm trying to. Well, obviously LA. I
Yes.
freaking
I
love
still
LA.
haven't made it to the
And
West
you look
Coast.
like LA too,
Ain't that
friend.
crazy?
Most
You do
people
look like
assume
LA.
it.
You look like LA.
But
That's
you
what's
are,
so
are
funny.
so New York,
But
though.
very New York.
It's
You're perfect.
weird.
You
I think my personality is very New York,
Yeah.
but then my vibe though is
Yeah,
like
that's
a little
exactly
bit
what it
LA
is.
because I'm
Yeah.
so chill. So yeah, but you know where I would live?
Where?
In the heart. Obviously, I said LA, but like for real, I have toyed with the idea of moving to Jamaica.
Ooh,
Have you,
yeah.
friend?
Oh my God, you don't understand. I feel something for Jamaica in my heart. Like, I don't know if I lived there in a past life, but the first time I stepped foot on that soil, the people, the way they embrace you, the Rastas, good Lord. Yes.
A roster of Rastas.
Honey, like,
Sigh. Rastafari. Dutty.
like the food, dude. I remember I met a Rasta once, and he was like cutting up fresh fruit. Mind you, I was there with my boyfriend at the time. Shady. And he was cutting me fresh fruit, and I was just like, ooh, ooh. Came with the wrong person. Should have been one of my
Did he have a machete?
Yes. Or when you coming from the airport, and then the guys on the side of the road just go ahead and chop you a fresh coconut. Like, that's my life right there.
Hell yeah.
I would love that.
And I'm just totally like, people have said to me, but you can't live there because that's just like for vacation. You'll get tired of it. And I'm just like, no, I won't.
So what I'm supposed to do with this?
I really don't think I would. And I've
see you getting tired
I've
of
met
that.
young girls in hotels where I've stayed at that have been like, no, like I would trade with you. I would love to live in New York. And I'm like, girl, please do not give up this place, like this beautiful island for New York.
You honestly would kill Jamaica. You would just start planning a whole bunch of whatever and have you a whole school at the end of the year.
I would have like a cute like health or wellness center like on like by the beach.
Yeah.
Like, can't you see it?
That's yes.
That's a goal.
You said a couple of things to me, and I just like
you can feel it.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals.
like
you
your
guys
store
will
that we
either
gonna
see
have
me.
one day.
You already know.
Look, we got to put all these things out into the universe because they gonna happen like for real.
I want a bar.
Oh, cute! I can
I
see
do.
that.
I want a bar, and I have a really, really cool name for it, and a really, really cool concept. Yep.
I can totally
Awesome.
see
I
you
do.
being the owner of like a sexy bar.
Yep.
That's
and it's going to
cool.
look
That
one
would be
way,
perfect.
and then when you go into the main area, it's gonna.
Would
it's
it
gonna
be in
sound
New
one
York?
way. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so
Yep.
perfect. That's so Dustin.
Yep.
That is.
I can see it.
That is.
I want a
That's
bar, so we
perfect.
putting that out there. Anybody want to open a bar? You want to pay me to tell you how to do it? Holla at a player. when
Make
you
sure
see
the bar
me in
got
the
a private
streets.
back room that we always can have.
Right,
like
like
our room.
where they doing and then another back room
Yeah.
where the real
forgot who
money
I
is
was
being
talking
made. No,
to.
I'm just playing.
You see there?
I'm
But
kidding.
yeah, that's so y'all gonna either catch me in Jamaica or in LA.
I could
Damn.
totally see
One
that
of the
though.
two. I don't know which one it is, but that's where my heart is.
You know where I
It's
haven't
leaning
been,
towards
but I
either
would
one.
totally live. Like I just know Tokyo, like Japan.
I love Tokyo.
I would totally, and I don't know if I would live out my last days there, but I would totally live there for like 5 years.
I
My
can
friend
see
Sean
you in
Ross. Shout
Tokyo.
out to Sean Ross, the
Model.
model. He FaceTime. He was in Tokyo and we were on FaceTime, and I swear to God, it looked like he was standing in a goddamn pinball machine.
Isn't it
Like
surreal?
the floor, we were tripping. He was like, I can't, like, look at this. Like, the floor underneath him, he was on a stair. He was in a stairwell, rather. The floor was made out of like LCD screens, I guess. Like everything fucking lit up. It literally. I was like, you on a void? You on
I want
Sonic
to go to
the Hedgehog?
Tokyo
Where the hell?
so bad.
I was
Like,
in Tokyo for 3 weeks, and let me tell you, I spent a big chunk of it by myself just exploring because the people I went with were on tour.
yeah.
And, they had to go perform. So a lot of it, they were like at sound check and shit. And I was just like, oh, I'll just jump on the train and visit some like shrines and stuff. And it was like surreal, like straight out of a movie. The people are super cool. The trains are easy to navigate. The city itself is just awesome. The food was cheap and so good. Like, I could totally see you in Tokyo, and you'd
my
be an
God.
awesome businessman.
Oh my
I
God.
could see you having your firm like in Tokyo.
I would, in a heartbeat. Like
I can see
I
it.
can remember like being a child, like just being like, what is this place? And I remember always being on the internet, and our parents didn't know what the fuck this was, this internet. I'm looking up like in
Pictures.
Netscape.
Netscape.
Her Netscape Navigator,
Netscape.
trying not to get that
Explorer.
shit to crash. Looking at pictures of Tokyo and trying to save pictures on floppy disk. I remember ordering like a mini disc player, and it only played the Japanese shit, so I couldn't even use it. But I remember being young as hell, thinking I have to get to Japan.
You have to get there next year. Make that a goal because
it is.
You're gonna.
I
It's gonna
have-
resonate. That is one of the coolest experiences, and hopefully those of you listening will feel
Yes.
like inspired.
Everybody listening,
And you go over
listen
there
up.
and be exotic.
Visit
so it's like
your-
everybody's
visit-
gonna
yeah.
think
Make
being black
travel
in
a
Tokyo.
priority. Listen,
oh my God.
it's life changing.
Everybody, I don't have a passport, and the only reason that I can say that so confidently is because I am going to get one,
You
like
have to.
immediately. I had to get some business in order with some other things, but like this whole process, like once I get it all set by the end of this year, 2015, I'm about to kill next year.
And the beauty of getting your passport, and for those of you listening, if you don't have it, as soon as you get it and you travel to your first country,
You're gonna become addicted.
you will like, it's so life altering. The things that you stress about, like a lot of people like, Fran, you know, you're so calm and zen. And yeah, it's the practices that I do every day, but it's also how much my perspective about the things I worried about and chose to stress about changed once I started traveling around the world and meeting people and their different situations and just being really thankful and grateful for the things that I may have been taking for granted, you know, and just understanding how much bigger the world is than you think, you know, it just changes your life completely. So I'm excited for you to get your passport.
Man, I can't wait either. And, you know, like, luckily I've been blessed. I complain all the time about working in a restaurant, but I've been blessed to, you know, have a mouthpiece. So when I talk in restaurants to my guests, I make friends with people in different countries. Like, I'm Facebook friends with the lady who lives in Singapore.
That's sick.
Like, all these different countries, and we randomly stay in touch. Like, every time I have some friends in London, they always come to visit New York. They're from Australia, though. And they always hit me up, and we always have dinner at the restaurant that I used to work at, like, whenever they come visit.
And you just end up making plans before you know it.
When my mom was out there, they hung out. I was like, oh, no, they didn't. She hung out with Kevin Sorry, I forgot my mom listened to this. No, she didn't hang out with them. And I was going to name the people she did hang out with. And they probably listen to the show, too.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, yeah, my mom and dad definitely listened to the show. They were telling me that today.
I know, I remember.
Shout out to Asante's parents.
Shout out. Love my parents. I love y'all's parents, too. I love your mom, and I ain't even met her. And I love your parents just because they made you your crazy ass family.
They brought us Dustin.
Your
How
sister
can we
and
not
your brother.
love them? Speaking of shout outs.
Thank you.
It's time to move into our favorite part.
If you... Oh, wait, you gotta sell it. Oh, sell it with a sexy voice.
I love your friends-itions.
I speak like Dora the Explorer. I'm the last person to have a sexy
Dora
voice.
Give us a sexy Dora voice. Sell it to us.
I'm like, vamonos. You gotta send that over to Dustin.
Oh my God. I'm very appreciative, like I said, of your transition that you made into this.
Yes. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yes.
That's hella cute.
Into this segment.
Right? You just flow on out.
Oh, Lord. As per usual, please do not hesitate to email the show at thefriendzone@loudspeakersnetwork.com. That is thefriendzone@loudspeakersnetwork.com. Dustin, do you want to spell it out for him again this week?
Nah.
All right.
You want that, you got to play our old shit. Listen to the episode from last week.
Okay. I hope somebody makes like a mix of that or something. You know somebody will. This one is titled Getting Rid of a Close Friend. Thanks for providing humorous, helpful, and healthy doses of mental deodorant every week.
You is welcome.
You is.
Beloved. Shout out to Tax. After the death of a loved one late last year, I reevaluated my life and embarked on a path toward healthier living, both inside and out. During my self-reflection, I realized I spent a lot of time worrying about what others thought of me and found that I was constantly explaining myself. Getting rid of this bad habit was one of the first changes I made to improve my quality of life. A close friend and I have been comrades since high school and are now in our late 20s. Talking to or spending time with her was increasingly draining, but I was never quite sure why. After I began improving my life, I felt compelled to stop associating with her altogether. It later occurred to me that when I stopped explaining myself to others, I had nothing to say to her. In recent years, when she would inquire about my love life, I told her it was dormant and a significant portion of my life was devoted to my full-time job, both of which are true. She had begun to accuse me of hiding things from her because my life had become routine in a good way and void of love affairs. She's attracted to women, and I'm a man who's attracted to men, so I don't believe her behavior is rooted in romantic feelings. Of course, she wants to know why we don't talk anymore, and I can't find a diplomatic, succinct way to articulate to her that she was draining me and contributing to negative behaviors in my life. Perhaps I should stick with my newfound confidence and simply say I don't owe her an explanation. How would you relate this message to her, or would you? I look forward to your thoughtful advice.
Well, I would.
Yikes.
And the reason I would is so that I don't get any more damn inquiries from her. Stop asking. I don't want her asking me nothing. You don't like her anymore, okay?
Right.
And that's what has happened. Your perspectives has changed. Your feelings about things have changed, and you've decided that you guys you don't gel anymore. You see things totally different. And not only that, she's offended you, and she's been offensive towards you for quite some time now. So if I were you, and with this newfound confidence and conversational freedom that you have, without like cussing her out or being blatantly rude to her, I would just let her know, like, listen, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and I just don't think that we get along anymore. I think that our views are too different, and not in a way that complements each other, but in a way where this is actually toxic for me.
Right.
I wish you the best. I have care for you as a person, and I respect the history we had, but I'm not interested in pursuing a close friendship with you any longer, and I think it's only fair that I let you know. So don't be looking for me to call. Please respect me and don't call me, and let's just, move forward free. And I would leave it at that. Sometimes you have to be honest. I would just let her know. Let her know.
Have you ever had to break up with a friend?
Yes.
Oof.
Only one time though. Like, I'm fortunate in that my friends, like, our friendships are solid. So I've never had to, like, I've never stopped liking someone without them doing something like to me. So this person, really quickly, I used to deal with someone kind of regularly or whatever, not a relationship, but we did whatever we did on a regular basis. And so my friend knew that. And then like years later, after I had fallen in love, they went behind my back and started, messing around with this person. And then I found out. And so...
Oh, and they didn't even tell you.
No, and it wasn't that they really tried to hide it. It just was that I had kind of just moved on.
Right.
And so... then I wasn't paying attention to their behavior and stuff. But anyway, I was more disappointed because I had more history with the person that, not the friend, but the other person, I was much more disappointed in them. But then because me and that person were friends and I'm like an all-in friend, and they appeared to be that way and loyal up until that point, I kind of got upset. But out of respect for our history of friendship, instead of me trying to like whoop his ass or whatever, or be, take that route, I just walked away. And over time, we would run back into each other, out and about or in different cities and stuff. And we were cordial, but I can't trust them. And so I finally told them. We ran into each other in another city. And I finally told them, like, look, I'm not mad at you. Everything is over. I don't even feel like I've forgiven you and moved on. Like, I'm literally not even angry.
Right.
We're fine. I just know that I will never be able to trust you. So it's best that we don't even, like, talk or kick it at all.
Right.
And I think he was kind of upset. But at the end of the day, what could he do other than respect that I was honest like that and told him?
Yeah.
Right.
Now you don't have no unanswered questions. It's cool. If I saw you tomorrow fighting somebody in the street, I would help you.
Right.
But I would just walk the other way after we got up from dusting their ass off.
Right.
So,
I've never had to break up with a friend. I can admit that there are two friends that I was like super close to for years, and things were already, I'll just use one of them as an example. Things were already getting bad, but because I guess I was being a coward in a way, like I didn't know how to just tell her, like, me and you just not really getting along.
Right.
Like, this doesn't, we just kind of kept trying. I don't know. And then she just did one thing that just was like, that was it.
Just
for
pushed
me.
you over the edge.
Like it was like, I don't, thinking back now, because I've asked myself, like, did you just use that as an excuse? Was that like an out? It wasn't. Like, what, the things that she did were just super trifling, but I also was a complete coward about it because I did not sit her down, like Dustin said, and be like, listen, I'm not fucking with you because X, Y, and Z. I didn't do that at all. I literally just like from one day to the next just stopped talking to her. Mind you, this was years ago.
But like, what made it, do you think it made it hard for you to sit down and talk with her because it was uncomfortable, or maybe you just couldn't find the...
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I think now at this point,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I can do it because I'm a stronger communicator, and I probably wouldn't even allow my friendships to get to that point. And the friends that I have now, we get along so well. Even when things are bad, like we can talk it out.
Right.
So that would it wouldn't even be a situation, I don't think. But at that point, this was like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. Where I still wasn't so strong with my communication. It was getting better, but I still hadn't learned as much as I know now. And I would not have been able to find the words to tell her, like, you're pissing me off. I'm not happy about this. Or, how do we fix this? I was still in a very, like, fuck that mentality. Like, if it don't feel good, I'm not dealing with it. And I just kind of, like, dipped.
But you know what,
and
though?
never talked to her again. And she's like randomly emailed me like, I really miss our friendship. And I feel bad because I'm like, that was so childish on my part,
No.
and I have not gone back to fix it or nothing, you know?
Maybe she didn't deserve that, though. Sometimes, like, the only
your intuition, maybe, right?
or like your history, how much you value the relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody does, and sometimes people do things that are so hurtful and wrong. They don't deserve
There's no
that
coming
courtesy.
back.
Yeah.
And they could act like they have questions, but people know when they do things to other people.
Right.
So they know why y'all don't talk.
Yeah.
And so everybody doesn't deserve the respect that you have to have for a person in order to talk through your feelings like that. When you feel
Right.
like you've been wronged by someone.
Right.
So don't feel bad about that.
That's true.
You know what
and
I'm saying?
also a lot of friendships sometimes are really thin, you know, and they can be based on you guys just having mutual friends and seeing each other all the time, and then you become friends because you're in each other's faces. But
All
there's
the time.
nothing really like, there's no glue, there's no like emotional thread that really made me feel like I should fight for this, you know?
There you-
So
and
I
there you
kind of
go.
let it go because it's just almost, I hate to say it, but I didn't really feel a loss or a void
Yeah,
when
and
the
it's like that
relationship was over.
sometimes.
I felt guilty because I know that I ended it in a childish way by just like not talking to her anymore. But I also didn't feel different,
Yeah.
you know? So in a way, it's kind of like I could have gone about it better, but it didn't really like, I didn't lose anything. You know, I wish her well. There's no beef. If I
Right.
see her, I've seen her maybe twice since then, and it's cool. You know, we're like, hey, girl.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know. I guess you win some, you lose some. We all have made mistakes.
Yeah,
I can
no,
always
absolutely.
admit
Yeah.
I can always admit the times I've been childish about situations because it's been many.
Yeah, you and me both. Like I'm
Yeah.
still young. I'm still being childish about things now. You know,
I'm
and
learning not
I
to
know
be
I've
so
been in
much of a coward.
situations with people where I should have told them something, but people just kind of rotate in and out anyway. That I just kind of I would be like, I'll tell them whenever, and then sometimes they would just kind of fall out of rotation anyway, and it was just like, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be, or like the universe
Right.
moved them right on out, so I don't have to worry about it.
And I do feel that way too, that with friendships and boyfriends, girlfriends,
Yeah,
there's something you should feel if they're not there anymore.
Mhm.
And if you don't feel it, then that's kind of like a red flag.
yeah. I remember like with a friend that I had a falling out with, like it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, and I was like, damn, I didn't even.
Remember?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I wonder how such and such is doing. I was like, do I really wonder that? And then I would go look, and I was like, well, we hadn't been talking, and I'm not missing anything, so let sleeping dogs lie, you know?
Yeah, you gotta question whether your friendships are an emotional threat or just them being familiar. Because a
Yeah.
lot of friendships are really just based on the time you guys have had together
Yeah.
and nothing else.
And I
Yeah.
hate to give you petty advice, but if you just don't feel like doing it, then I mean, I guess on some level you might owe it to yourself and her to get that closure. But if you don't feel like doing it, or it's gonna take you out your way, don't.
The only thing I will say to him though is that, like Dustin said, it will at least give him immediate peace in the sense that
Yeah.
as long as he tells her, anything that happens after that is on her.
and that's true.
And he made it clear, and if she chooses not to accept it, then that's her personal
That's
problem
true.
at that point. But
Because you're not leaving her in the wind,
right, and she can't put anything on him later. You know what I mean? So he might as well just
Sleep in
be
heavenly
the big
peace.
right, be the big one. Just say what he has to say. I would suggest that because I know from the people I walked away from that I know I wish I could have just been ballsy and just said what it was when it was. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes life so much easier. No loose ends.
Hey, you know why I walked away. If I was your friend and I'm not your friend anymore, you know exactly why I'm not your friend anymore.
Right.
And if you're smart, you leave it right where it's at. And that's for real.
Right.
Like,
Look,
'cause
and that is for
and that's
real.
I used to work with this lady that would say, and that's been for real. That's on the for real side.
Look, Monica had a reality show back in the day. Shout out to Monica, who I love so much.
Shout out to Monica.
Back in the day, she had a reality show. I think it was something with Jazzy Faye, and she was like, "I'm not new to this game. I'm true to this game."
Okay,
and so I
admit it.
always remembered her saying that. And every time I think about something, I'm
She
thinking
did the
about
shoulder
Monica.
dig too.
Yeah, she sure did.
Monica is good for a shoulder and neck
A
roll.
shoulder.
All of it. She just like me. When I was in court, I kept making the faces. Like, you know, people just have mannerisms. Like, I feel like Monica always do a neck roll or something. I always make a face. So I was just like, like, just stuck
In
on
the
bitch
court?
pleasing.
You were silly.
Every time a question was asked, can you abide by this? No. Like, screw face.
Absolutely won't be able to make it.
Cannot, will not, shan't,
Right.
shall not.
Well, I hope our answers helped you a
I
bit.
hope as well. I
Me
hope you
too.
really get through with your friend or without her.
And on a petty note, you can always turn to Facebook because don't nothing make a nigga mad more mad than a petty ass Facebook status. And just make sure she can see it and be like, I am so tired of people who don't get it. Like, one thing I hate is explaining myself. You got to be a real idiot not to get it when somebody's trying to tell you something. That's on a petty note, though.
I feel like that's 99% of the world.
Lord.
That does the sub Facebook status. I don't even go on Facebook just because of that. That's the one reason.
So Facebook has this new feature. Coming out with some new feature that, like, if you see your ex, you can like control how much of them you see, remove them from like people you may know. How much like you and your ex's pictures will appear with mutual friends, like shit like that. I was reading that somewhere today.
Though. I think it's cool.
It is kind of cool, but it's just like, damn, this is what y'all been doing on Facebook. Like, they had to make filters for this specifically.
People going crazy.
I love him, and then the next day, like, we broken up. Like, it's just like, what you doing on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
they need to do that for Twitter too.
Oh God, please no.
Them recommended pages.
Instagram
I'd
coming
be offended.
Next. Then Instagram
I'd
coming
be like,
next.
What are you trying to say about my Twitter?
I told you about them. Oh, you know what? When I made that new Twitter, there were some people that had blocked on my previous one that told me to follow, and I was like, oh no.
The shade.
We have time for one more question, possibly two. We'll do one. All right. So the subject of this is actually, I once was blind. I probably still need glasses.
Wow, nice.
I love that title. All my life, eyes had to fight. Sometimes my emotions come out as lines from The Color Purple. But honestly, I've struggled since I was a small child, 7, with anxiety, which formed a girl group with depression somewhere around age 13.
That was cute.
And they've basically been on tour together ever since.
That was cute.
You need to be a writer.
Yeah.
This is funny.
I find my ways to cope and drown out all the negative and stagnating thoughts I have about myself, my life, and my future, but that alone can be a full-time job. I recently entered a relationship with a guy who I've been casual friends with for a while. We bonded over a mutual understanding of mental illness and the ways it has affected and continues to affect both of us. And somewhere along the line, it morphed into a loving relationship. He's become my best friend and a close confidant. The trouble is, it's so hard for me to take care of myself some days, and it seems like that is only multiplied because I know what he's going through, and I worry about him. I scrape and struggle and drag myself through the day, and at the end of it all, I want to be able to be excited about seeing him, talking to him, but I just cannot bear the weight of his issues on top of mine. It feels selfish and thoughtless, but I'm starting to wonder if we can ever have a future together. I'm so used to taking care of everyone else because it's so much easier to be objective and logical about other people's problems. Not so easy when you're turning your proactive improvements inward. I guess my question is, how can I talk to my boyfriend about how I'm feeling? Can this relationship go anywhere, or are we doomed to just amplify one another's issues until we blow out the proverbial speakers?
Wow.
Shit.
That's a deep one.
That is deep.
That's a tricky thing, even with friends. And of course with the relationships, when you bond off of misery, it feels so good in the beginning because you feel understood. It helps to know that you're not alone in the things that you're feeling.
Yeah.
But then it starts becoming heavy because suddenly there's always that one person that doesn't want to feel this way anymore. And there's the other person that is constantly in that space. Yeah. And then that's what starts creating the separation. What I've learned, because I suffer from anxiety too, and I have my bouts of depression here and there, which I've never been scared to say because I think that's a very normal thing that people just don't like to talk about. But I have been very cautious about the people I date, and I make sure I'm not attracting people that are in the same space, because then you do bond off of the shared sadness, but there also has to be a willingness to break out of those feelings. You guys can't just both get under the covers and just turn the world off in sadness. Like, yeah, it's fun to have a tag team, like a partner with you, but there also, what is going to create a successful relationship, and I can only speak from personal experience, is both of you have to be willing to not want to feel this way.
Yeah. And
that really is the only way, because if he is in a space where he can't really see how to get out of it, and he's constantly in that cycle of like sadness and the bouts just don't really seem to change, that's not going to help you progress, And the sad thing is, I know your exact situation because I've been in it. And the problem is you mistake compassion for romance. Because it just feels so nice, the conversation and the familiarity of the feelings, but it's just compassion, and it should have been a friendship. A lot of the times that's what happened to me, that I've moved forward because I misunderstood the signals, and we both just moved forward, but it really wasn't anything real. It was just nice to have someone kind of make you feel less crazy.
Yeah.
And, but what's going to work is, I would say, sit with him and be like, yo, we can't just like drown together, like
get some of them Oprah workbooks. Yeah,
like we need to like come up with a plan, like how, like what are the self-care needs that you have and what are my self-care needs, and instead of bonding off of where shit is wrong, let's bond off of how we can pull each other out of these spaces when need be.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right. And then that creates a much more productive bond, and you guys, it's not a matter of ignoring that you feel these things, but it's a matter of deciding that it's not going to consume your relationship, and more importantly, not going to consume you guys as individuals.
Yeah.
So try to, like we said before, it's all about perspective. Instead of running away from him, talk to him about that, see if he's interested, and if, it's beautiful that your wounds match, but your willingness to break out also has to match, because that's what's going to change it. That's my advice anyways.
And I just got my song inspiration.
See, there it is.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Give it up for the band, ladies and gentlemen.
That was such a weak little class. It's an empty show tonight.
Okay. Damn, ain't nobody there.
So this week's song comes from the content arsenal of none other than the, legendary... classically, respected
like,
in media.
I'm tired.
Television, especially, and
Miss
film.
Rose, what's the teacher?
And somebody who just really has represented what the black cultural or other experience has been.
Oh God, now I'm really terrified.
Tyler Perry.
Oh, come on.
Now,
he has an album?
Well, he has soundtracks to his film.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, did I miss that?
And so there's a song. There's a song on the, I believe it is Medea's Family Reunion soundtrack, I believe. But the song is by Rochelle Farrell, and it's called "Wounds in the Way." And it's a song about these people who are in these circumstances.
I'm sad to say I might actually look into this.
Yeah, there's a lyric where she says, she gives her body freely because she can't love herself completely. There are wounds in the way. Okay? So sometimes you gotta get you some goddamn gauze and get you some fucking alcohol spray, and peroxide if you can't take the burn. And you gotta clean that wound and then cover it up to suck all that drainage out with that gauze and heal
suck it out.
Them wounds in the way. So this week's song that you're gonna listen to all night long.
All night.
All night long. All night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, we got
Come on. We're black on.
Right.
We got one.
Hey, friend,
Hey,
on
friend,
the
hey.
vocal.
No,
okay?
that was not me.
Okay.
Can you woo?
She just did.
They're trying Milli Vanilli, y'all.
So, this week's song is "Wounds in the Way" by Rochelle Farrell. And I'm really interested to see the reactions that we get. If you
I'm
find
really gonna
yourself
look this one
crying,
up.
I'll click the
it's a
links.
very simple.
I'll click the
The
link.
production is very simple. It really is, all jokes aside, a beautiful song. So "Wounds in the Way" by Rochelle Farrell is your song for tonight. As far as your conversation goes, I agree 150% with Fran. Find a way to bond over getting better together as opposed to wallowing together.
Yes.
Preach.
That's draining, and you're going to end up presenting that motherfucker and leaving his ass anyway. So you tell him to either get on or get off,
Right.
period, at this point. So I agree with Fran 100%, and when you have the conversation, just... I don't know what to tell you. Don't have it in the kitchen. don't have it by the knives. I don't know. Just make sure y'all have it at I don't know, maybe Sky Zone where you fall on them bouncy things. And, everything's
Sky
safe.
Zone.
Yeah.
In a bounce house, Dustin?
Yeah, talk there.
Oh, my God.
That's real crazy. So I was thinking
It's not gonna work.
that
Unless you
maybe it'd be a great idea if the way that you had this conversation would be like, you know, hey, so we got some similar like triggers in this aspect, and I don't want to deal with this no more in my life, so this is what I'm gonna start doing. And then do you think that's something that you'd want to work on too? Like maybe to kind of just give the option and just also to put out there that you are trying to, you know, work on your stuff, and it might maybe just encourage him passively to be like, you know what? Like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
sick and tired.
You know, I feel like when you try to make someone do something, they're not going to want to do it.
We
but
just
if they,
talked about it last week.
That's right. Niggas gonna nig. I'm glad this ain't the radio. So if you want to get better and you want to encourage this person, I think what's going to encourage them is watching you get better, because that's going to, like, I think when sometimes we see people around us start to do better, it's almost like a testimony to how great you can be. So that's just kind of my little take on that. You know, do a little simple slide in there. Like, hey, I noticed you like to break the dishes on Wednesdays. I like to break them on Wednesdays too,
Oh
but
my God,
I can't afford no more dishes, so let's go painting on Wednesdays instead.
I'm tired of cleaning up on Thursday.
Okay, because who's gonna clean that shit up?
Okay.
And you know his triggers.
Yeah.
You know his life story, I'm sure, if you guys have bonded. So be mindful too, because that's one thing. People with like depression and anxiety get very defensive and can assume very quickly that they're being thrown away or that they're a burden. So, you know, I'm not saying to turn into an actor or to sugarcoat, because you still have to be you and say how you feel, but just be mindful of the triggers too, you know, because he's obviously probably going to take it as you throwing him away, you know. So I would say don't go into it like, because you're doing this and I can't, you know, just go into it like, these are the things that I think would be so much better for us, you know what I mean? And come into it. Yeah, come into it with the we's and the us's, and those are all very comforting feelings, because it lets the person know this isn't about me trying to throw you away, but this is about me trying to make sure that we get better.
That's right.
And that if you approach it that way, you change someone's life. You make me better. So we hope that helps.
Yes, thank you so much for writing into the friend zone.
Yeah, that was a really real question.
Yeah, it was. But I really dig your optimism and your writing in that email. I honestly,
Me too.
I hate to give this award out, but that was favorite emaal.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, it was worded great.
I love the writing.
The writing was amazing. So I hope
girl group.
That was hilarious, and it made what could have been really uncomfortable like more. It made it comfortable.
So you know what you're doing. Actually, I need you to email me, because I'm gonna have you like break something down for some people.
Right, you need to go on YouTube.
Okay,
and create some lighthearted videos on anxiety.
Let's not catch that shit on
Do we have any
YouTube.
church announcements?
Yes.
Well, at the very
I
end,
don't have any.
At the very end, since it's Thanksgiving.
I don't.
Okay. Well, let's go around and say something we're thankful for. Should we do that? Is that corny?
Yeah, that's
yes.
cute.
I don't want to start. I want to go last.
Okay, I'll start. I am thankful for. I'm thankful for my family. I am.
Yes.
I'm thankful for my family, and specifically speaking, my sister and my brother and my aunts. I'm thankful for them.
Yeah.
Because in times where it has been very difficult for me, they have made it easy. And we can just sum it up like that. And so I'm so grateful. I love my siblings more than I love myself.
Oh.
And I mean, like, for real.
That's
like,
I can't even imagine what that feels
I
like.
love my brother and my sister more than anything. My sister is the oldest and I'm the youngest, and I feel like I am here to like look out for her. I do. I care about her. I care about my brother, and I'm thankful that they're both willing to be like not just my sibling, but like my friend.
Yeah.
They enjoy me.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do that.
Y'all do have a good ass time.
They don't have to do that. I know that they don't have to do that. And there's a lot of things about me that they could choose to be turned off by, you know, and they don't.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to be honest with me, any of that. And so because I study people and I've had the experiences I've had thus far, I'm able to discern like that their behavior is not it's not obligatory. They doing that because they want to, because you can feel the authenticity. And I'm very grateful for that. I am. And they keep me going. So I'm grateful for them. Shout out to my brother, my sister, and shout out to my Aunt Phyllis and my Aunt Robin, especially. All my aunts, but those two especially, just for being who they are. That's it.
Oh, I felt that in my little black heart.
So sweet. Your black heart.
Asante.
Black hearts matter.
No,
I said I was going last.
Oh, you're going last. Yep. What am I thankful for? So many things. But of course, I'm gonna have to dedicate this segment to my mom.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know you're listening, little lady. I'm so thankful for all the sacrifices that my mom made. I'm thankful that she has always had my back, and no matter how many times I've changed my mind on what I want to do, she always thinks I'm the best. I see how she beams when she speaks about me, which is like such an honor that she feels that passionately about me, and it's so humbling. And I am so thankful that, like I've said before, I'm so thankful that we have raised each other so well. It was a rocky start, but we got it together. We're learning. We're such best friends. And I'm so excited for this new chapter, and that you are ballsy enough to just be like, I'm out. Because
I'm excited too for
I was
your mom.
sad, but now like I get it. You're human and you have a world to change, because you definitely changed mine, and I'm excited for the new people that are going to be blessed with your presence.
Yes.
And I'm just thankful too, just for this whole brand that that has come to my life. I'm so thankful for Hey Friend Hey. I'm so thankful for the Friend Zone, because it was so scary for me to join it. I was nervous when you guys were like, Fran, would you do a podcast? I was like, what? Your fan base is going to hate me.
I know you
they
were.
love you.
Right. They're going to be like, who is this chick? And I remember thinking, no, I was talking about it with my friend Shameless Maya, who we always call each other to be like, girl, should I do this? And I was like, I can't do this. They're not gonna understand me. And she was like, so what? That's great. Do it. And she really pushed me. She was like, you're so uncomfortable and you're so fearful of it that means you have to do it.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. That actually just resonated with something, because y'all know that family episode, I was not really here for it. I was not trying to have it.
Right.
But because it was so uncomfortable for me, it was very important, and it opened the door, especially for my mom. I told you, I'm not sure if I told you, but like my mom, we talked after, and she kind of like gave me her blessing. She was like, you're your own person, you have your life experiences, and I understand, what roles I might have played in that, and I don't ever want you to hold yourself back because of how you think I'm going to feel. Like, you have to express yourself and be yourself.
Aww.
And that was such a freeing moment. And
Right.
It was all thanks to the Friend Zone, which brings me to what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the experience, not just the Friend Zone, not just the things that I experienced, but just how people are with each other. Like it is so real that you affect how you think and what happens, because it's so easy to fall into these negative thoughts and just think that life is so hard, woe is me. But we forget about all of the great things that are around us. Like, we've had all these great laughs with people. We've been all these great places. You know what I'm saying? We've been blessed to do all of these great things. So this experience is so amazing. It's so amazing to sit up here with you guys and to talk and just give perspective for other people to hear. And everybody respond to the show and email and just receive what we're given. Like, it's so great. Like, it just reaffirms that we're doing some of the right things. And y'all are doing the right things by listening to us, because we want to make sure we're giving you guys the tools to really succeed, because we want to succeed and we want you to succeed and help other people succeed. And it's such a awesome giving
just
experience.
High
And
vibrations.
I love that.
Right.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. I
I
love
love the fact that this show connected. I'm not going to be long-winded either.
Go ahead.
But I love the fact that the show connected, because I was just thinking about that based on what you said, friend. Like, when we were conceptualizing this show, you know what I'm saying? We didn't just want to get on here and talk shit and make people laugh.
Because it's easy to
Dustin
do that.
specifically
easy.
said, he's like, I want it to count. Like, I don't want us to just be up there talking about nothing. Like, I want everything we say to like matter. And that's...
I felt like we would be more motivated too when you don't, because no matter what it is, you have times when your energy is off and you may not necessarily be in the mood.
Yeah.
But I thought that our purpose, I thought that if what we did was purpose-driven work, we will always be motivated to get it done.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Absolutely.
I wanted it to count, like Asante said. And so just the fact that has resonated with the amount of people that it has thus far and it's growing, the fact that we're getting more and more people that want to be better or want to be as good as they can, but from a realistic perspective,
right.
That's the most gratuitous feeling in the world. Like, and so that for me, I'm so thankful for. Like,
yeah, and it's beautiful to create a platform that's based on living as opposed to talking about other people who are living.
Yes.
You know,
right.
which I think is so common on the internet. If you can't figure out how to be helpful, then most people just trash everyone else.
Yeah.
But we wanted to create a platform where people can genuinely look inwards, even if they are listening to us on the internet.
Right.
We're hoping that it's helping you look inwards so that you could live, as Oprah would say, your best life.
That's right.
That's right.
You might even hear the N-word. You know what I mean?
Because niggas gonna nig.
But we love you, and most importantly, we're thankful for all of your kind and supportive and inspiring words. Man, there's nothing like going on the Friend Zone Twitter.
Oh my God.
When I'm having a long day, I literally just log on and read the comments and the tweets, and I'm like, I love this.
Oh, by the way, well, by the time y'all hear this, it'll be last week. So I did the Soul Glow project. I wanted to shout them out. Thank you, ladies, so much for that opportunity. It was great. Thank you to people that came that listened to the podcast.
Oh, wow.
I got to meet some people that listen to the
cool.
show. It was really, really awesome. So
thank
you. Shout out to y'all for being there. I really did not expect that. So I'm always shocked when people support us.
You guys, yeah.
Yeah, it's always a great feeling. So, by you guys supporting the show, it just makes us want to do more for you guys. So just know we love you guys.
Yes.
Tune
Enjoy
in
your
every week.
family.
Happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget to put celery seed in the potato salad, damn it.
Eat a lot.
Enjoy
hug a lot,
dressing,
kiss a
not
lot.
stuffing.
And nutmeg in the candy yams, damn it.
We love you guys.
Protect your magic.
Bye.